Today we're with Cornelius. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
And today Cornelius is going to tell us what he's doing with his company, how he's looking for the freedom. Actually, that's a good question. What is freedom for you?
Oh, that's a big word.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, freedom is especially like freedom of choice, like freedom of the choices you take, and yeah, the values you have. So.
If you could say freedom in one word, like the most important for you, freedom
in one word.
Area? Freedom of what?
Freedom of mind.
Like peace of mind. Or?
Peace of mind, yeah. Do what you love. I'd say, okay, that's like stupid because we're sitting in WeWork and that's the slogan. But yeah, actually, I'd say that's it. Like, do what fits best to your personality. That's freedom. Yeah.
And that's cool. And you're gonna tell us a little bit about that. Like, why? Tell us a little bit about you. Maybe what you study. You're originally from Munich, or
no.
I don't know. Like, it's a good question.
Correct. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. So I'm born in Düsseldorf, raised in Dortmund, western of Germany. Moved to Munich for studying like 8 years ago, and then did like bachelor's and masters at TU Munich. So that's where I come from. I'm into founding since I'm a little boy. I don't know, I told my parents I'm gonna have a company when I was 8 years old.
That's cool though.
And yeah, that's basically it. And then while studying, I found two partners that were into founding as well, and we just went for it. So
what did you study?
I studied a mixture of economics and mechanical engineering.
Okay.
Classical.
Masters?
Stuff, bachelor and master. Yeah.
Both in this. Okay.
Both in this, and
that's quite often, right? Like people here in Munich, a lot of people
half
study.
Of the city.
Yeah, exactly. that's why. It's not the first time I hear.
Definitely nothing special.
No, I mean it's special after you finish your studies.
Yeah.
Either you go to BMW or if you start your own company. Like here, like I don't know. Like I really don't know, but. Maybe in the last years or recently, like Munich has been like really a boom of startups, and I don't know. I heard that. I don't know if that's true, but it's like I just like.
Yeah.
It's my perception. I don't know.
Yeah, I think like 1,500 every year finish that. So
exactly. So your company, Blitz Minds.
Yeah.
What is it about?
We digitize lean innovation. So it's like stupid buzzword, but actually enterprises, especially in Germany in the last years, they invested lots of money to teach their people how to do lean innovation. So just basically like talk to your customer.
It's like lean manufacturing put into software or something?
If you want, it's just try to do as startups do, but for BMW or Bosch or something like that. So just talk to your potential customers, find out the pain points they have, try to establish as easy and cheap as possible to build little prototypes and test them.
Okay, so just create an MVP?
Create an MVP so and go out there.
So if you don't know, it's the minimum viable product?
Yeah. Which could be a picture, by the way, or a click dummy, something like that, but mostly things you can do in one day.
Okay, so it's going out to the market as fast as possible.
Right.
Okay.
And this is what they're trying to do. So, I mean, especially in Germany, we are very engineer-driven, and engineers build functioning products. This is like the main strength of Germans is like building functioning products that run for 20 years. Yeah.
Exactly.
But this is very expensive to build that.
German quality.
Yeah, of course, German quality is expensive, and so German companies might think of not let engineers develop something for 10 years and then find out, okay, it's a really cool product, but nobody wants to buy it. And it's surprising how often that happens.
Actually, that is not a surprise for me. I mean, I'm coming from Mexico and living here in Germany almost for 4 years.
Yeah.
Like I have been like I've been immersed in the culture, and like just by compared how I was in the last 4 years, and how I'm becoming more like in the culture. The more I'm here, the more I'm learning, the more I'm like behaving more like into like German culture. You know, like. Do you plan to go, like just as you said, like just planning to go and do something for the next 20 years? That's like something like, at least in the Mexican culture, we don't do. It's like, I have an idea, let's go now. Or even Americans, I think.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think we are much more into plans in Germany, which is a strength, but also a weakness if you're trying to do good products in a cheap way. And so back to our product. It's just enterprises. Sometimes like 14,000 people of Bosch have learned how to do lean innovation. And as you know, they work on post-its, and it's like very time-consuming work, which is good and it's cool, and we won't take that away. But we created like a platform where all the stakeholders can come together and just help people to create better innovations. And,
so that's kind of like a digital mastermind. So it's like brainstorming,
right.
Like bring up together everything.
Yeah, right. But it's more than just an idea management. It's like really like go through the steps. Talk to users, generate insights, observe it.
I mean, the framework you have it already inside.
Yeah, right. It's the classical framework that everybody uses. IDEO is selling that for so much money to huge enterprises, and we're just providing a framework where everybody can say, okay, I'm doing these steps, and we connect people in there and have like an intelligent recommendation engine to prevent people from doing double work all the time, and I think it's a really beautiful front end framework, and should help to get lean innovation into corporations.
Cool. Next question is, how long have you been doing this? Like
3 years ago was the idea, and then we did like a long prototyping phase ourselves. Of course, would be stupid if we didn't do that.
Yourself.
Definitely, yeah. We did like 10 iterations of prototypes and I think 75 user tests with it. And then it took like 9 months to convince the first customer because it didn't have a product.
Of course.
And then
German company.
Yes. And then they bought the prototype, and we said, yeah, we can do that. And this was still while studying. And then we built the first version, and now we're on the market with it like since 1 year.
Okay.
It's still like something between an MVP and a first version, to be honest.
Co-founders? 2, 3?
Guys? We were 3 guys and have 2 more developers.
Okay, so the team of 5.
Team of 5,
that's cool.
But we have had changes since then. So right now we're team of 3, and I'm the only one who's left from the initial founding.
Oh,
the others work for corporates now.
I think that's another thing that I learned from the German culture. Like Germans don't like risk. Like in general, nobody likes risk. Like I think everybody prefers to stay at a secure job. Like you know, like get your salary every month without like just thinking about it or just.
I mean, there's nothing bad about it, but you have to you have to choose what's your freedom. If your freedom is I'm making money, I know I'm safe, I can afford a nice apartment in Munich, and I can do whatever I want after 5 p.m.
Exactly.
Easy.
That's why I asked you why was freedom and so important for you, and which kind of freedom?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people I have interact with, they were more like, oh, my freedom is my free time.
Yeah, I see.
Like after work, I just don't want to like be like preoccupied or something about anything else, just enjoy myself, go to, I don't know, walk for a walk, go to the gym, whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's also this really common.
You're right, yeah, and I think you just have to know yourself and find out what it is for you, and maybe that changes over time. Maybe one day freedom for you is having time for your family.
Okay.
Right now, for me, I'd say it's, create something that lasts at least for some time.
Yeah, of course.
What also could be culture. Yeah.
I mean,
no,
but I mean, it's like, do you think it's something that somebody else, not only in Germany, but somebody else would learn or would they would require to do for their businesses? Like, would you recommend to do that somehow? Like to plan in advance, maybe, I don't know, 10 or 20 years? Or at least?
No, not 10 or 20 years. But I recommend to be able to plan. I mean, I guess might be a German thing, but I'm really good at planning, and I think you also have to be able to plan things, because otherwise you're not a good partner in business for other people. But you should be.
That's a big one. Huh?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but you should be able to handle insecurity. Because I have no clue where we stay 2 months from now.
Exactly.
We don't even have an office.
Actually, that's one of the questions that I'm gonna go through a little bit later. Next question, what inspires you?
Sorry?
What inspires you?
What inspires me? People that have their own idea of something and follow up on that. Never mind if it's art or music or a business or changing a huge company from inside, or just doing a blog from Hawaii, I don't mind. So, but just having something they love and they say, hey, and I've really spirit in that. So
do you have someone in mind? Like, do you have any kind of role models? Like, you say, like, oh, this guy or this gal?
No, I wouldn't say I have a role model. I try to see that within normal people, and loads of them have something like that. So not all of them. I'd say like less than 50%. I find something. Possibly I'm not looking good enough. There might be more, but yeah, that's what I do. Also, when I choose the people to join the Blitz Minds team, I'm looking for, do they have something they identify with? They are special, and it should especially not be like work. It should be something else.
Exactly.
Never mind what.
But I mean, that's a cool thing, because this is not only you that I have found this kind of how you say, like, kind of belief. It's like if you are looking for something that actually you can relate to.
Yeah.
So because like you are going to work with them.
Yeah.
So you need to know that at least you have something in common, right? Like, it's not only about the job, but it's also about the mindset.
Yeah, I think it's the mindset. Yeah, and it's especially not. It might be that they are curious on cats. Yeah, I don't know, and I hate cats. So, but it's just if I see that they are burning for cats. Yeah, like reading stuff on cats, and they have I don't know, I have 10 cats or whatever. But it's something special. It's more than just anything. So they're really into it. So then I see, okay, there's some personality in there, and they're doing things they like. Even other people say, okay, well, how stupid is that, 10 cats? So this is what I mean.
Exactly, that's really important. Something that I just forgot is, are you working currently everything in German? Or is like, are you planning to open to a bigger market, maybe into the English market?
So right now we are planning to raise money to tackle the German or the DACH market, German, Switzerland, Austria. So right now the internationalization is not really a subject, of course, in our planning. on a 3-year basis it's in there, but let's see what happens. So I think we have to get a good foot on the market right now.
It's a big enough market.
And yeah, for the investors, of course, it's definitely possible, but we have to see that our approach works. So and we will do that in the German market.
Cool with me. What about your strengths? Your top 3 strengths?
Top 3 strengths. That's difficult. I mean, I'm good in building networks. And also use those networks. So finding a new office that is cheap, that we can afford, for example. I just have to be open-minded, talk to people. I hope I'm good in bringing people together, getting people to follow one goal, at least in a certain framework. And I think I'm good in handling pressure with the help of my girlfriend. Yeah.
Definitely, women are a big help in tough times. Like, like I have discovered is like when you are kind of weakening in some area because you are doubting, hesitating or something, they are coming so hard. It's like woke up, motherfucker. It's like, oh, sorry. It just was a moment of fear. I don't know how to call it. Yeah, but sure, I know that part. What have been your biggest obstacles or challenges, like in the last 3 years?
It was this year, and I was alone once in a while, so it was bad luck. Like we have been 5 people, as I told you, and 4 of them quit in the time of 2.5 months, which was really heavy. So I was the founder of a software company without any developers.
Like solopreneur.
So try to find developers for a startup that cannot pay loads of money. So that was really tough, and I was scared to quit and have to close the company. And it took like 3.5 months until I found the first one to join me again. So yeah, that was definitely the hardest part from the Blitz Minds perspective.
What would you tell them, or tell the guys that are looking at this? Like, this is definitely a real life experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I think, I mean, knowing people from Germany, I think you read a lot and you study and you put yourself in under a lot of information. But information and real life, that's something else.
Yeah, but it's not that easy. Bad news. So I can tell you how I handled it. So I was struggling with that. I knew I wouldn't like to quit that idea, but I was thinking of, okay, at one point I have to make money somehow. I won't do this on my own. And I was applying for a job. At the same time for PhD here in Munich.
Oh, cool.
And
I went through.
No.
Okay.
I went through all 4 steps of application, everything fine, and the last step was like an assessment center, and they told me, I got a huge email what I have to prepare, and I just didn't prepare those things.
Yeah.
I prepared like 1 or 2 things, but I didn't even read the mail and said, okay, I have to do this and I have to do that. And so I sat there and I said, okay, Mr. Filbry, please, could you tell me something on that subject? And I even, in my head, I knew where it was written in the mail. So I read it like 3 or 4 times, but just didn't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. So, of course, they didn't take me. I would have chosen me. But for me, that was the sign, okay, actually, come on, you don't want that.
Yeah.
So
that was what I wanted to say. Maybe it was, I'm guessing, maybe it's my guess, you can tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe you wanted to sabotage yourself so you could continue doing your...
Yeah, it was subconsciously, definitely. Yeah, my subconscious...
I have done that.
But I wouldn't use the word sabotage because my conscious wanted to sabotage my real me, if you want. Yeah, and
that's
real me won.
It
was a really bad trick.
Some part of your mind wanted the safe thing, like that's one of the things that I have been struggling with, not only in my own life or my own experience, but also with other guys that I have been coaching.
Yeah.
And the problem, or one of the biggest problems, is taking decisions based on fear, and that sucks shit.
Yeah.
Because now, when you're scared, you tend to do like stupid stuff.
Absolutely.
And when you're stupid, your results are stupid. Like you're really great.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm glad that you.
Yeah, I was lucky. Yeah, but so these are signs. But honestly, it's the main advice I would have is like try to be honest with yourself and then find out what you want to do. But sometimes it needs hints, strong hints.
Sometimes you need to, like for example, in my own experiences, you need tough situations, tough challenges, and not easy ones, because like when you're in these situations and nobody is helping you, this, for me at least, this is what I have seen or experienced, like your manhood or manliness comes out, and like, I don't know if you call it like warrior or whatever, it just comes out and it's like now I need to kill somebody or something like this.
I see where this is going. I don't know, to be honest, I don't know if it's a mankind of thing, but what I have experienced and talked with others is that people have different levels of motivation. And for me, motivation kicks in whenever I don't know if I can make it. So like, I don't know how it's possible, I think, okay, then it should be possible. And I know people that like very much, but they have very different level. They like also challenging tasks, but they want to know, okay, I will make it. Yes. For me, is where motivation drops like that.
And this is in the moments of confusion where men are made. Right?
Yes. This is what you want to hear. Yeah.
I didn't make that stuff. I didn't make that. I mean, this is real life. This is the thing.
It's switched off. Is that a problem?
No. It's just the audio.
Okay.
That's the audio. The video is.
All right.
So that's no problem. So actually, that's the next question. How do you overcome failure, fear, and doubt? I think it's more or less what we were talking about.
Yeah. Fear. You said it in a very well way. So try to be aware that you have fear, and then don't fight it, but see what it's doing with you. So is the fear forcing me to take a different way? And do I really want that? So do not fight the fear, but don't let the fear become ahead of you. And it's difficult to say, because I'd say at the point where you fight the fear, it's not a good thing, because you won't get rid of your fear at once. I think you have, it goes to your subconscious and you're not aware of it anymore. It's not good. Exactly. So try to see that you are fearful.
Did you develop that, or how do you think you got like, I need to just keep going on? Like, going forward, even though you are afraid or so.
Yeah.
Like, did you learn it? Did just like, or is natural for you?
No, I learned it.
Yeah.
So I was in an academy. It was like a 1 week training, which I like very much. I would say I learned it there.
Kind of military thing?
No, it's not a military. Like it's like it's like rather philosophic. Actually.
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, was a cool approach. I can only recommend that. Was just luck that I have got the chance to do that, and this is like basically the way they think. So just be aware of your feelings, either it's fear or anger or whatever. Also positive feelings, of course, and see what they're doing with you. And at that point, you don't have to fight against them, but you can do something with it.
Yes,
so.
yes. Just use the energy.
Yeah, use the energy. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And find out why it's in you and what it tells you.
What do you think about self-awareness?
Yeah, it's extremely important. Like this is the first step. Without
Is it
self-awareness,
right?
you're lost. Yeah, definitely. So I'm really like strong man. To get back to that, should be have a good level of self-awareness, because otherwise you might be physically strong, but you're doing stupid stuff all the time, and you will hurt yourself at one point, and so it's just not good. Self-awareness is like the first step for everything.
I have found that self-awareness doesn't only allow you to get what you want in the business area or professional area, but also your relationships, in your health, in your whatever.
Yeah, of course.
Like I think this is the main thing that I would say the Latin culture.
Oh really?
Like they don't have. Like I mean.
They don't have.
Yeah, okay. They don't have. I think it's I'm generalizing this, but I have been living in Mexico for 20-something years, so it's like I never met anybody with self-awareness, like real self-awareness.
Interesting.
Like knowing who they are, what are their strengths, what are they doing. So when I stepped into coaching, and I was like, wow, what is this thing?
Yeah.
I didn't know. Like I didn't.
And you recognize this more often in Germany or in Europe?
I wouldn't say it's normal in everybody, but I think somebody that is striving to do something for themselves, to do maybe to help other people or to create something new, that takes a lot of energy and that takes a lot of balls. Yeah. So if you don't know who you are gonna like just quit. Like quitters it's a sign for people that they don't know themselves. I think this is my guess. Because if you know a lot about yourself, you know that maybe you don't know something. Yeah. So you're like, shit, maybe I need to study more, or maybe I need to go and, I don't know, pitch my idea more often, alright? But you know what is happening. That's what I mean. Maybe it's my approach. But can be wrong. Yeah,
I'm okay with lots of things in that. I'm not sure if the quitters are the ones that are not aware of something. I think there are many people that have no or very low self-awareness, and they run for one plan like their whole life. So I want to be the boss of Deutsche Bank or something, and they at 75 they'll find themselves and say, fuck, I can't be the boss of Deutsche Bank anymore, and then they're unhappy, and they say, okay,
maybe that's so more about like the brainwash or something about the
it's maybe something on reflection or but at many points you're right.
I think it's a combination of both. Like one is to go and do something for yourself, like just creating from nothing. That's the hardest part, and the other part is what I call the German dream. The German dream is just go for the best university that you can get into, then go for a master's degree or like whatever the best education and the best grades you possibly can get, and then strive to get the best job in the best possible company and die there.
Oh my god.
Is it too exaggerated?
It's difficult to say for German, but I see how you got there, so at least in Munich it might be really relevant, but we should keep in mind that there are loads of students in Munich, so like more than.
And not only Germans, of course. But I mean, I was also in Stuttgart, so I was just looking around, and it's not that everybody does it, but at least it's the main goal, like the culture main goal. I mean, if the American dream is go and buy your home and all this stuff.
I see.
I think here is
get a good job in a good company. Yeah, there's a lot of truth in there. I guess.
And die there. Just like get your how do you say your contract, unlimited contract.
Yeah, get your unlimited contract.
And then enjoy life. I have heard that so much.
I know many people say that. Yeah.
What do you think are your core beliefs?
My core beliefs.
Or let me rephrase it, so maybe this will help. Your 3 truths. Let's play like this. Let's say that this is your last day. Like you're gonna die.
Oh, damn
tonight.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's say this is your
Okay.
last day. And you don't have the time or the whatever, your phone, you lost everything and you're just gonna die. And the only thing you have at hand is just like a paper and a pen, and you are just going to leave 3 truths to your loved ones.
Okay. Wow, that's tough. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know the English word for that.
Don't worry.
The German one is Anstand. It's to be some kind of honest, but it's more than honest. It's like a state of mind. Like I want to do things appropriate.
Truthful, maybe?
Truthful.
So it's like maintain your truth for yourself.
I don't know what the feeling for English-speaking people is, so I can't say. So the German word would be Anstand or anständig. Maybe it's also some kind of family thing, but I don't know. No, I think it's more. And I would recommend to anybody to look for the people around you that are anständig. That like they are honest. They don't look for their last bit of. Like take a buffet. They're not the first at the buffet. They are just like, okay, I'm hungry, I'm going to the buffet, but they're not like.
So it's being honest with yourself.
Being moderate on some point, but also that doesn't mean that you're not strong and not look for what is good for you, but you do it in a maybe modest way. I don't know. I really don't know how to explain. I would really recommend that. Look for people that are like that and try to be like that, which is difficult. I think that's very important. Next thing is, I can only go for myself, but I would recommend to meditate. I think that's really good. I learned this in the academy that I talked about before. So this is for self-awareness. It's a good training. Just listen to yourself. And the last thing is, find out what's really your passion, and that might change over time. And try things out. So it doesn't come from one day to the other. So if you're doing in sports, maybe you have to try like 10 sorts of sport. But be honest with you, self-awareness, find out, is this the thing I want to do? Don't quit after the first day, but you don't have to do everything for a year to know that it's nothing for you.
And there are so many things that you will not see at the first time. That's the thing. Like the first time is gonna be difficult. Whatever you do,
of course.
It doesn't matter what you do. The first time you try, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah. So this makes this plan a little bit difficult, because you have to try things for the first time quite often. If you're unlucky, if you're lucky, it might be at the first time. But so these are the 3 recommendations I would write down.
So we're just getting to the end. And what do you think, or what is your definition about being a man?
Being a man?
Or masculine, the man?
That's a cool question. I do not have an answer. I hope that the definition of that, what is called being a man, will change over time. I hope that
your definition is like
my definition. I don't have
your
one.
opinion.
Yeah.
What is all about being a man?
My opinion is there are some strengths that are typically man-like. Which some women won't like, but for example, it's car driving, and there's like science tells you why it is like that. So it's just because we have a better feeling for rooms and for spaces.
Kinesthetic intelligence.
If you want it. So there are things like that will always be more easy for men. So this is what I would say, like definitely.
But in this case, it's like. Maybe you have heard about the alpha males and the beta males and all this stuff. I think it's a little bit overrated. But in this case, it's like, what do you think about being a man, for example, for your family?
Actually, I think it's not overrated at all. We're still apes, of course. Like we're look into any office and you'll see the alpha male after 5 minutes. Of course, it's no problem.
No, but what I mean is like, of course you see that or you experience that every day. But what I mean with that is the term, at least, like. Because like this,
maybe I can maybe give you the goal I have for myself.
Okay.
And as I'm a male, so I try to have a male appearance. Don't try to be female. So I'd say I would love to establish some masculinity that is a feeling masculinity, which for me is some kind of authority and also some kind of leading mentality.
Yes.
But with a very good feeling for the needs of the individuals around you. But I would not recommend it as a basic masculinity thing, because it just doesn't work. You can have like 100 bosses, so you need some other people doing the work as well. So yeah, masculinity is always referred to leading, and I would argue that. But for me,
it's part of.
I can't give you an answer. Like classic masculinity, no. It's like it's difficult. I mean, there are things.
Just let me share what is my definition. For me, my definition of being a man is take care of yourself, take care of your family, and just have a mission and go for it.
Let me argue that. Why isn't that the description of a woman?
I don't know about that. If they want to do that, I'm good with that.
Okay.
But I mean, we can share it. Like that's.
I think this is really cool. But for me, it would not be
necessarily just for men.
Oh, yeah, it was not necessarily.
And I mentioned it, or I asked it because, for example, I would say in the Latin culture, you don't see that often that women are that independent like in Germany.
Yeah,
highly independent. Yeah. They don't need men at all. They are just.
I wouldn't say that. But
I'm generalizing.
They need us.
Yeah, I'm going to the exaggeration, obviously. But I mean, they are looking to get a job, get their own apartment. If they can share that with somebody else, would be nice, perfect. Yeah. It's not that we depend on each other anymore. It's more like a partnership. Yeah. So that's what I mean. Yeah. It's like who is dominating the other is not about that. Yeah. But in Mexico, at least my experience is still women are dependent on men a lot, and men are still like, So I think it's a lot of culture.
What's the question on that?
No, it's just a comment. That's why it was.
Yeah, I guess it's quite special in Europe. I guess in most parts of the world it's different, and we'll see where this is going. Maybe it's just a snip in time. Maybe it's a trend. We don't know.
And I asked that question just because I think there are a lot of men out there, not only here or in Mexico or whatever, everywhere, that they are feeling a lack of confidence. They don't know who they are. They don't have a mission. They are just wasting their time and doing stupid stuff. This is what I think is the nemesis of masculinity.
Okay. That's why.
That's why I ask. It's I think it's let's take out women out of the equation. It's I think if a man is not a hunter, by nature, something is happening. It's not that it's wrong. I think saying that something is wrong or good or bad, that's a little bit stupid in my opinion. But what is happening that you don't have that? Maybe you are afraid or highly afraid. Yeah. Or maybe you just don't know what to do, you're confused, I don't know. Yeah. And that happened to me, a lot of things. But I think for me, this learning who I was, who I am and who I want to become, that has been the whole transformation. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's incredible what happens inside individuals. That.
There's maybe people that 2, 3 years or 10 years ago they were still different, and now they are I don't know.
Yeah, there are people.
Winners, losers, all kind of
people change that.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I will leave in the link in the description about your company so they can check it.
Cool.
If it's in German, just go and translate it a little bit.
Most of it is in German. The job descriptions are in English, so if anybody's interested.
But I mean, right now you're hiring
in Germany, in Munich.
With a European.
Of course.
Law. I know that it's a little bit difficult if you want to come here and don't have the permit.
So then you have to ask.
Exactly. I'm a good
consultant. Cool.
So thank you very much for your time, and see you the next time. Maybe for one update or so.
Thank you.
See you.